Have you ever made a beautiful plan for your week only to get to Friday and it's almost as though you've not even done nothing? Like you've not been able to achieve the very objective or the very goal that you have set for that week. It happens to a lot of us, and I want you to know that it is not because you are not ambitious enough or that you are not goalful, right? That's my word. It's not because of all of that. It is that you have not been able to put yourself in a position where you can have a proper structure that can make life sort of predictable in that arena, right? Whatever result that you are looking forward to, friends, you must be deliberate about building a formidable structure that can set you ablaze for your next level. The thing is, growth is a beautiful thing. We all want to grow. In fact, it is woven into our DNA, it is woven into our personality to aspire, to admire a life of transformation, a life of metamorphosis that can ascend from where it is right now to the next level. Why would you two admire growth? Why would you two want to grow? Because the more you grow, the better it becomes for you to also live life, okay, with ease. You want to make more money? Someone once says, the more you learn, the more you earn. All right? You want better relationship, parenting, whatever it is, it starts from here. It starts from where you are right now. So, friends, welcome to my channel. If today is your first time coming around, I want to celebrate you. Thank you so much for joining in. On this channel, we have conversations around personal growth. This is where you get to build capacity for your next level. If you've been looking forward to a life of growth, a life of transformation, a life of impact, this is where it all begins. So let's dive right into the conversation. Life can be so unpredictable, friends, and that's why you need structure. Structure is the only way you can be certain that you can at least achieve up to 70, 80, 90, or even 100% of what you have anticipated. If you do not have structure, you are going to keep moving in circle. And this is the very reason I teach flexible weekly planning, right? On a weekly basis, you may have a lot of things you want to achieve, or even today, right now. How flexible are you? How adaptable are you to ensure that the things that you've put together, you can actually achieve them? All right. So, having this flexibility or adaptability is the only way you can stay consistent. Because I've seen very intentional people who will start out on a journey with so much energy. Oh, Coach, I want to read this number of books. Oh, Coach, I want to do this. Trust me, after a while, they don't stay committed anymore. And then you don't begin to ask yourself, what even happened to this person? This person at some point was so on fire, but after a while, they just went back to their cocoon, and it's almost as though nothing is happening again. Of course, that kind of a life cannot really yield so much. You've got to stay committed and consistent on the path of personal transformation before you can even begin to talk about result. In fact, the book Outlier, the author shared a lot around how you can become a master. There's been several sort of research around the subject of building mastery that it takes a minimum of 5 to 10,000 hours for you to become a master in any area of life. I'm not talking about building mastery, maybe building skills in other sub areas. But if you truly want to become an expert in your field, you must be able to invest the hours, you must be able to invest the timing. It is important. You cannot wing it. So let's talk about your flexible weekly planning and how that can be put together to ensure that you no longer overwhelm your day or your week with hundreds of tasks, but rather that you can begin to sit down and ask yourself the question around the big wins that you are looking forward to in the season. So it all begins from there. For you to plan your week properly, you must have the outcome at heart that you're looking forward to. You must have a vision, you must have a goal, right? That beautiful future that you want to experience has to be right there in your heart. It starts from there. Okay? So the first thing you have to begin to do going forward is to ask yourself, what are the three big outcomes or wins I'm looking forward to in this new season of my life? Write them down. Do you get that? Write them down. Don't joke with that. The more you write them down, the more your reticular activation system, all right, they're going to swing into action. The more you write them down, the easier it becomes for you to put your ROAS to work. Reticular activating system. Have you ever thought about owning a red car or whatever? All of a sudden, you start seeing those things around. That is how it is. So, write down your big wins. And then, number two thing you have to begin to do is to break those big wins into tiny components. to say, okay, if this is the big win I want to gain access to, or what I want to have this week, if this is the big miracle I'm praying for, what are the steps that will take me there? What are the steps I need to take? I need to work on. I need to ensure I keep up with so that I can really have access to these wins in my life. That's number two. Third thing you have to begin to do to ensure that all of these are fully integrated is to stay flexible, be adaptable, be malleable, be the kind of person on a journey that can understand how to be flexible with shadows. Life is not that hard. It's just that most of the time we make it so rigid, right? We make it rigid in a way that we're not able to sort of understand how to navigate our problems or challenges that we go through per time. Yes, there may be seasons you're going through very difficult moments. We all go through them. What do you do in that season? You have to ask yourself, if this sort of system I've been used to is no longer going to work for me, what else can I begin to do right now? That's it, friends. Go ahead and do the work. I want to celebrate you for stopping by. This has been a beautiful conversation, right? And I just also want you to understand that we have been able to launch a membership, okay, for the reading community. You know, we run a reading community. For those of you that have known me for a while now, you understand that we've been on this for the past 8 years. So we've just been able to relaunch our reading membership for those who really want to stay connected. Every week we get tens of people who reach out to say, oh, I want to be a member of this community. And they're looking out for structure, they're looking out for accountability. And that is why we've been able to put the system together. All right. So if you like to sign up for it, it is for a token per month. You can check the description below and go ahead and sign up. We'll be so glad that you're doing this, right? So go ahead and sign up and become a member of the Real Leaders community where you have access to all the goodies. They are all embedded on the page. I will see you in the circle there. I will see you in the community. And if you have interest in any other kind of transformation you're looking forward to in your life beyond just book reading, I'd like you to stick around in the community. Every single week, we normally host master classes. I would like you to go ahead and check the description. We're also going to drop the link there so that you can subscribe and always show up here every evening by Friday so that you can be a part of that meeting. I can't wait to have you in all of our different programs where you can be so integrated into your learning journey. All right. I'll see you in my next video, guys. This is the voice of Coach Faith, your growth catalyst, your personal development coach. Do have a lovely season ahead, growing and ascending. Bye for now.